It is no secret that we live in a society that is trending downward in a significant way. In such times, it is important to look around us and try to make sense of what is happening. In this video, we will attempt to determine whether the state of modern America qualifies as a tried and true dystopia, and how works of fiction can help us identify the sources of our dysfunction. The concept of dystopia is a popular meme that has spread through the minds of many in relatively recent history. The original dystopian societies were products of the imagination, projections of what could come to pass. Gregory Claeys divides the development of this genre into two submovements, or turns, each influenced by real-world developments. The first turn came in the mid through late 18th century, inspired by the Enlightenment era and the French Revolution. Writers such as Jonathan Swift and Edmund Burke satirized supposed societies that operated according to the principles of reason. Writers of this era also speculated on the outcome of societies that saw perfection in their way of life. Such efforts, they often speculated, would be doomed to fail.
These assumptions would influence the second turn of dystopian writing, which projected itself through the 19th and into the 20th century. Socialism became a strong focus of literature in general, with many competing voices arguing over this new form of governance that centered around the equity of all. There was a prevalent fear that a socialist system would pave the way for forced conformity and centralized thought.
The modern view of dystopia was largely defined in the early to mid 20th century. Dominating authoritarian regimes were plucked out of reality and taken to their logical end, a world where the human condition became centered around the constant operation of a factory state. The subtleties of personal life were ironed out in pursuit of efficiency. This was done through the necessary control of people, either through fear, desire, or both.
How would writers such as Huxley and Orwell characterize modern America, one of the most influential and developed nations of Earth, in view of their dystopian works? To decide, we must go point by point through some of the most prevalent characteristics of dystopian societies, and see to what degree our dysfunctional state matches their criteria.
Propaganda is used to control the citizens of a society.
Propaganda has been a part of American history for quite some time. Dating back to the days of "I want you," now propaganda has evolved into advertisements, telling us "you want this."
Whereas propaganda once spoke for the government, now advertising is the new form of propaganda used by private industry.
In 2016, the advertising industry generated an estimated revenue of $103 billion United States dollars.
A figurehead or concept is worshipped by the citizens of the society. America's slogan is Land of the Free. Freedom as a concept is exalted in America. People will defend freedom at all costs. They will defend anything that is called freedom. Americans worship celebrities. Celebrities represent our ideals. They are everything we wish to be and everything we are not. Celebrity culture has even extended into politics. Citizens have a fear of the outside world.
Much of the traction that has been gained by Trump's wall is based on the fears of immigrants coming into America and taking opportunities from Americans. Fear of immigration has been relevant in America in the past as well.
Muslim Americans and their institutions were targeted because of Al-Qaeda's involvement with 9/11 and other terrorist attacks. Citizens are perceived to be under constant surveillance. In 2013, it was discovered via a leak that the National Security Agency has been secretly collecting raw data from major online service providers, giving them the ability to spy domestically on anyone they please. With this knowledge, it is now only logical to assume that you are under constant surveillance. It has also been shown that sites like Facebook and Google use information that we give to them to make themselves richer. They understand each individual person's views and status, and are able to use this to market to them most efficiently and effectively. In another way, we are always under voluntary surveillance due to social media and sites on which we freely post our whereabouts and personal information. Citizens live in a dehumanized state.
The official poverty rate is 12.7%, based on the United States Census Bureau's 2016 estimates. That year, an estimated 43.1 million Americans lived in poverty according to the official measure.
Many live without clean water, and many areas have high crime rates and low social mobility. In the most impoverished parts of the country, people live in third world conditions and have been systematically abandoned by powers that do not wish to invest in their well-being. The natural world is banished and distrusted. So many areas of natural beauty have been converted to residential, industrial, or commercial spaces. The drive behind this is of course economic gain that these lands provide to certain individuals. Deforestation is a growing issue among many others that affect our natural world. The distortion of information has led many to deny trends and pollutions that are leading to climate change. The society is an illusion of a perfect utopian world. This category, America does not seem to fall within. The very existence of this video attests to the fact that the flaws in our society are clear for everyone to see. Whether they are recognized or not can vary from person to person. Of the 7 categories of dystopia that we looked at, America fulfills 5 of them somewhat objectively. The rest may be negotiated, or are present but not complete. It can be reasonably induced that currently, America is edging more on the dystopian side of things, but is not totally without hope. America is different from the States in most dystopian literature in that our government is hardly the main oppressor. Instead, large facets of our lives are decided upon by the capitalists, who generate the propaganda, ruin the environment, disenfranchise the workers, help shape the public discourse, and dangle our desires in front of our faces to distract us from the pain they cause. American history is a chronicle in which the people have had to continually wrestle power back from the capitalist elite through the enforcement of regulations. Currently, the ultra-wealthy are winning the fight, and thereby hampering the rights of citizens in order to support the system in which they benefit. Whatever happens, the fight goes on.